Google is now paying $100 million to the CBC and other large broadcasters, all because Trudeau is scared of people exposing the real shit, which is that his country is in shambles right now. Or is it that Google is scared of losing Canadian revenue since they run ads on all of our searches? Or is it that Meta has now blocked Canadian news on all of its platforms like Facebook and Instagram because it simply doesn't care, and now Google wants the upper hand? Regardless, right now, Canadian media is an absolute mess. So let's get to the bottom of this. Now, in this agreement, our favorite news agency, CBC, is getting $7 million of the $100 million a year budget, which means the rest of the money will go to other news agencies. Now, the reality is that it's going to narrow the amount of news that's going to be shown online. Because in order for a news agency to file and be allowed to receive revenue or be allowed to have their content shown on Google, it's a real pain in the ass and it takes a lot of time.
I'd like you to get the fuck out of here.
Which means the independent voices, the independent thinkers are going to have their content pushed out. Ah, yes, but of course. Maybe this is Trudeau's exact thought process. Maybe this is why he did what he did, knowing the end path because he's an evil chess player. We gotta respect our opponent. This dude knows what he's doing, and he's pretty good at being a prime minister. I mean, he's not good at being a good prime minister, but he's good at staying in power, and he knows the next moves to make. And by shutting out more conservative voices, which happen to be independent voices, smaller channels like myself even, maybe he's going after these types of people because they're speaking against the narrative. They're bringing up facts. They're showing data. You know, what we do on this channel when it comes to economics, finances, and real estate investing. We show the data, we peel the onion, and we show what's going on exactly in the real-time market right now. Which, by the way, if you didn't notice, interest rates are plummeting for fixed rate mortgages because the signal of inflation, the signal of higher for longer, we're going to hold rates higher, that's all crumbling, which is why big institutions, big corporations are now buying bonds because they know the game is over, which is causing the price to come down, which is going to cause real estate. What do you think is going to happen? They're going to go boom, boom. Peeling the onion about things like that. Trudeau doesn't want us sharing things like that. Now, that was just an example when it comes to finances or economics, which is very boring for most people, but not us. But imagine that type of onion peeling when it comes to social issues, when it comes to the state of the country, when it comes to food donations and people having to go to food banks. Yeah. He doesn't want smaller independent thinkers peeling the onion and exposing the truth on those things. So we're just gonna squash that news. We're not gonna be able to show it. You can't share it on Facebook or Instagram, and that's the way Trudeau wants it. Now, weirdly enough, with his $100 million ad revenue agreement with Google, even newspapers are gonna get a cut of this money. Which is kind of weird. I mean, the Irvin family must have something to do with this, but we won't get into that in this video because we already busted all of that down in this video. Just goes to show the level of Canadian corruption that basically all of the bigger companies, the bigger news agencies are going to be getting a cut, and most importantly being shown their content on Google, while again the independent thinkers, the independent podcasters, the YouTubers, the smaller news agencies can't have their content shown or shared on social media. Now, in this $100 million agreement, there's money set aside for other digital platforms, which again, not going to be surprised if it's just some other Irvin company. See, if you didn't know, and I didn't know either, but the Irvin family owns a bunch of telecom companies as well. In addition to their news empire, their forestry empire, the oil empire, this family's got his hand in pretty much just about everything. Very smart and diverse investor, I must say. Just the way the Canadian economy is that we have a lot of monopolies in this country. The Irving family with oil, forestry, and news. When it comes to Rogers and Bell, pretty much having total market share of internet and phones, it's crazy. There's no market for smaller companies for capitalism to be alive and well. It's whoever's got the biggest pockets, the biggest checkbook is gonna win, which is the way it just happens anyway. That's how it goes. But we have laws in place and common sense in other countries like the United States for capitalism to be alive and well. For these giant companies to not be allowed to have such a monopoly so easily. They're gonna have a monopoly no matter what, but it's not as easy to do that in the United States. It's a bigger country, bigger population, there's more to choose from, and just their laws are just set up differently for capitalism to thrive better. Which is why I'm personally no longer longer investing in real estate in Canada anymore. After buying 150 properties, it just doesn't make any more sense. And we're now investing in the US in states like Texas and Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, where capitalism is alive and well. Now, one of the stipulations Google had for this $100 million a year agreement is that it will not have to be a part of Bill C-18. Now, as you know, Bill C-18 was created to bully all of these big social media companies into paying their fair share, which they responded with, meh, fuck you. I'm not going to post
Get fucked.
or be able to allow your citizens to share their content on these platforms because we're not going to be bullied by Canada. Certainly not Justin Trudeau. No. See, they just said, go fuck yourself. We're not going to allow you to share anything. But Google came back to the table and said, fine, we'll appease you with this $100 million a year allowance, but we're not subject to the rules of Bill C-18. Final, take it or leave it. Which Canada said fine, and this is a really smart play on Google because they obviously make a hell of a lot more than $100 million a year from Canadian advertisers. So again, they're just playing chump change to appease Trudeau, appease his taxes, which he's the king of tax. Carbon tax, sewer tax, water tax, GST, PST, HST, property taxes. What other taxes can I think of? I don't know. I mean, with all of these taxes, dude, why isn't our country any better? Why is it getting worse, actually? Yes, but of course, the unintended consequences of taxing, the unintended consequences of going against capitalism, and all the smart people with money who are very educated and have a fucking brain are gonna go, it's getting too hard to do things in Canada. It's getting too hard to grow a business, to employ people. Money goes where it's easiest, like water, the path of least resistance. Why would I fuck around in Trudeau country when I can go to the US, when I can go invest in Dubai, I can go invest in India, I can even invest in China? A hell of a lot easier than in Canada with all these
taxes.
And therein lies the unintended consequence and why we're in such an economic shithole right now with a looming recession on top of high interest rates, on top of inflation. You gotta go and make our country unattractive to invest and bring business to. Come on, man, come on. Now, after this $100 million deal was struck with Google, they then went to Meta, hoping they had a little more leverage, a little more power to their punch, kind of saying, hey, your buddy, the big Google guy, yeah, he agreed to this deal. What do you guys think now? Can we come to an agreement? Where Mark Zuckerberg said, fuck you, we're not doing nothing. I already told you that your Bill C-18 was bullshit and unconstitutional and just gross. Now, they said that in a little more eloquent San Francisco type vibe, but they pretty much said, you guys are unconstitutional. This is disgusting, actually. We're not a part of it. No more news sharing. We're not paying you Canadian broadcasters bullshit. Nothing. Now, their reasoning was that Facebook is a free platform. We want to provide the best experience to our customers for free, and having to pay you guys and jump through your hoops is too complicated and we're not in. Even after the Google deal was struck, they still said, I don't fucking care. Go fuck yourself. So in all of this madness and weirdness and having to struggle through the economy, food is so expensive, the news media is crazy, it's getting more corrupt by the day. This is why a hard asset company is so important, like real estate investing. This is why I invest in real estate, because it grows my wealth so crazy. It's totally changed my life. I can do what I want, when I want. I have total freedom. I travel a ton throughout the summer and the fall to Europe and Costa Rica. I just got back. Check out this nice tan. And then in the winter, of course, we own a home in Naples, Florida, where we escape the entire winter down there. Dude, the only way I can do those things is by running a real business, being the boss, the CEO of my money and my life, and I don't depend on Trudeau. I don't have to depend on anything, dude. For now, I'm appeasing him by paying taxes, which of course I got corporations set up and the best accountants helping me out, but it's giving me options. And that's what I want for you, is to learn how to invest in real estate. Why? It's the easiest business to start, dude. Everybody pretty much understands how real estate works. Even if you're watching this video and you're not an investor and you have no idea about real estate investing, I bet you kind of get how it works. You buy a property, you rent it out and make more money than what the expenses are per month. You hold it over 5-10 years. History has shown you with your own eyes and ears that the longer you hold real estate, the almost guaranteed chance it's going to appreciate in value and go up. You sell it at year 7, at year 10, whatever, and you make a ton of money, and you do it again and again and again. Dude, everybody understands it. Now, if you want to get deep into how to invest in real estate, subscribe to this channel for free, or better yet, check out the paid courses below to accelerate your growth to wealth. But you understand how the business works. Because if you just want to watch Netflix every night and eat Doritos rather than watching finance videos, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're even doing here. Why are you on this video, man? You're still here? Sweet. Subscribe. Check out the free and paid courses below, and I will see you in the next video where I expose some more bullshit and show you how the real world turns. I'll see you soon.